Hey guys, Fire here from InDepth Gaming, bringing you another game review. This time we're checking out Escape Sequence. Escape Sequence was developed by Sidfish Games, published by Zidalon, and releases on June 30th, 2021. We don't quite have a price for the game, but like we said in part, as with most Zidalon titles, they're usually around that $5 to $10 price point, so I would expect it to be something like that. So what is Escape Sequence? It's pretty much just a puzzle game where you have one little guy that you move around with your D-pad or, however you want to move around with him, where you move these kind of control blocks. And when you pair up certain control blocks, they'll allow you to use them to move characters in various directions to then move obstacles out of your way to get from one end of a level to the end. You need to get your little guy here with the little black hair. Kind of looks like a little guy from like the old school Pokemon games, I definitely think. As well as it looks like Ash Ketchum's over here, kind of bouncing off walls and you're mind-numbingly controlling like a little robot that you're trying to progress from one end of the level to the other. As you play through the game, you're going to start to experience many different type of blocks, where you're going to get some that move your guy in a wide variety of levels, and then others that you'll need to figure out different ways to move, whether it's rotating guys around or having certain guys push other blocks out of your way to be able to complete the levels. Achievement-wise, this game isn't too difficult, as if you want to guide, as always with most Eidolon titles, you can complete this game in about 15 to 20 minutes. But if you want to play this game on its own and not really follow a guide, you're probably looking at a good, hour, hour and a half to really figure out how to use all the puzzles. So if you look here on the stage that we're on now, we have two different guys. So we have to really manage our different abilities to kind of control everybody to get them out of the way to be able to allow us to really continue our momentum and move around and, really figure out what to do to solve these puzzles. As you're moving with everybody, you may need to do various things to trigger different control blocks to work one way and also trigger them to work a different way. And by pairing up these different, kind of functions, it'll allow you to get from one end of the puzzle all the way to the end. Now, to knock out all the achievements in the game, you only need to complete the first 10 levels. Um, there is also a stack for this game. You can play it on Windows 10, and there's only 15 levels in the entire game, so there's not a whole lot of content here. But for what it is kind of a nice, decent little puzzle game, especially if you like challenges and something that's not trying to find your way, more trying to kind of program yourself through the puzzle to get through the various stages of the game. Overall, I think it's definitely a neat and interesting take on how to make one of these puzzle games function and work, especially if you're somebody who likes, kind of diving into how, programming and stuff might work to try to figure out how to sequence different buttons and pair things together to be able to help really, navigate around. I definitely think this is one of those Zidalon titles that could be definitely a good educational style game for a young kid, and it's really kind of a unique take on how you need to figure out how to control around and get your guys to function in puzzles. Overall, though, this is probably one of my more enjoyable Zidalon titles that have released in recent time, especially with there being a Windows 10 stack. I do enjoy being able to try to figure out how to almost figure out program style to make things work to be able to actually finish complete my puzzles and get to the end of the game. Overall, if I have to give this game any type of a review score, I'm probably giving Escape Sequence about a 6 out of 10. As a lot of these games, there's nothing too overly complex and, amazing about them. They're easy games that can quickly be done, but I definitely like the mechanics and styles of Escape Sequence. Definitely, I would give this game a little bit of a higher score if there was just more content here. With there only being 15 levels, let me get back to the menu here. There's not a whole lot really in the game. It's pretty much beat these 15 stages, and you don't even have to beat all 15 of them to get all the achievements in the game, I believe. I think you only have to do the first 10. I could be wrong on that, so don't quote me on that, but it is a fairly easy and quick completion, especially with guides. I think one of our content creator friends put a guide up where this game can be done in like 10 to 15 minutes. But yeah, outside of that though, if you guys have any questions about Escape Sequence or any other games, let us know down in the comments if you haven't already, and please consider subscribing to the channel. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and have a great rest of your day. We'll catch you next time.